What if the ancient Egyptians weren't just describing the afterlife, but actually training consciousness for it? These are the pyramid texts, the oldest spiritual writings in the world, and what they suggest about death and the afterlife may surprise you. Because whether you believe in an afterlife or not, these texts force us to ask a deeper question. What is consciousness, and what happens to it after death? The pyramid texts are ancient inscriptions carved inside the Egyptian pyramids. They were used to guide the spirit of the pharaoh into the afterlife. It's essential to realize that these documents are not mythologies. They're spells specifically designed to turn the pharaoh into a god. Lift your face, you gods of the Duat. I have come that you might see me changed into the great god. Induct me, shaking for fear of me. Array me as Lord of you all. I am the great God. This isn't a prayer, it's a declaration. This picture of the afterlife isn't about simply going somewhere else after death. It's about becoming something powerful enough to survive death itself. And this is where the pyramid texts become very strange. Death in these texts is not an end, it's a transformation. The king doesn't simply arrive in the field of reeds to enjoy eternal bliss. Instead, he must first become something else. In some passages, he becomes a star, eternal, fixed in the sky. And the most important tool for this transformation is speech. These texts weren't meant to be read. To speak the words was to become what they described, which raises a strange possibility. What if these texts weren't just describing the afterlife, but were meant to change the very person that was speaking them? Ho, Osiris Teti, awake! Aha! Aha! Raise yourself, Teti. Raise yourself, Teti. You have not died. And so the Great One stands up inside his shrine and lays down his insignia for me, for I have acquired authoritative utterance and have control now of perception. To understand what's happening here, we need to understand how the Egyptians saw the self, because for them, a human being wasn't just one thing. The human person was seen as being comprised of three parts: the ba, the ka, and the body. The ka was the life force, the spirit, a kind of double that continued after death. The ba was more fluid, often depicted as a bird, something that can move between worlds. And the ak was what you became if everything worked. A transformed, effective being, something like a luminous presence among the gods. The pyramid texts are trying to make this transformation happen, through speech, through ritual, through identity. They're guiding the dead toward becoming this Ak. So resurrection here isn't just coming back to life. It's the successful reassembly and elevation of the self. And if that's true, then something very different is happening here than what we usually imagine. You shall summon your Ka, namely Osiris, and he shall defend you from every wrath of the dead. I am the one in charge of cause, the one who joins minds for the Great One in charge of experience, the one who carries the God scroll, perception, at the west of the sun. You have been born Horus to Osiris, but you have become more Ba than he, more in control than he. Now that I have emerged today in the true form of a living Ak, I will break up fighting and restrain commotion. I have emerged from Ma'at, that I might get her, and she is with me. To understand this, we need to shift how we think about the underworld. Ra is the sun, and each night it doesn't simply disappear, it enters the Duat, the underworld, and it is Osiris who governs what happens there, the power responsible for its return. Because the underworld in Egyptian thought isn't just beneath the earth, it is the night sky. Osiris, for this reason, is identified with the constellation Orion, and the souls of the dead are the stars moving with him across the night. So death is not a descent into darkness, it's participation in a cosmic cycle. According to Egyptian myth, Osiris was the first pharaoh, a king, a bringer of order, associated with life, fertility, and renewal. But his brother Set represents something else: chaos, division, conflict. Set betrays Osiris, kills him, seals him away, hidden inside of a tree. But Osiris is not lost. His sister Isis finds him and brings him back to Egypt, and when Set discovers this, he tears the body apart, scattering it. But still, Osiris is not lost. Through ritual, through words, through the power of Isis, he is gathered and restored. And in that restoration, he does not return as he was. He becomes ruler of the Duat. They found Osiris after his brother Set threw him down in Nedit, when Osiris said, "You should go away from me," and his identity of Sokar came into being. "Look, he has come as Orion," says the Dual Ennead. "As Osiris come as Orion, the Lord, wine-colored with supplies. So whoever shall worship Osiris and do this magic spell for him, he exists alive forever. I am the one who worships you, Osiris. I am the one who does this magic spell for you, so I exist alive forever." If we pause for a moment here, what's being described is a kind of transformation, a movement from fragmentation into something unified, stable, coherent, and powerful. In modern psychology, Carl Jung describes something similar: the idea that the psyche begins divided and that the goal is not just to function, but to become whole. And what's striking is that this pattern doesn't appear in just one place. In Buddhism, there's the idea of the Sambhoga Kaya, a kind of perfected luminous form not bound in the same way as the ordinary body. In early Christianity, Paul the Apostle speaks of a resurrected body, something transformed, incorruptible, no longer subject to death. And in ancient Egypt, this was the Akh, a being that had passed through disintegration and emerged ordered, effective, and enduring. So we're left with a question: are these just coincidences? Different cultures imagining the same thing? Or are they pointing towards something real about the structure of consciousness itself? A process of breaking apart, reassembling, and becoming something more whole, not just after death, but here in how we think, in how we perceive, and in what we are becoming. Here am I, Ra. I am your son. I am Ba. I am esteemed. I am in control. My arms are active. I sit among you stars of the Duat. Ra places me as Lord of life and authority forever. O Ra, O you of repletion, O you of repletion, O you of fertility, O you of fertility, you are I am you. I have laid down for myself that sunlight of yours as a footpath under my feet, that I might go up on it to where my mother is, that living Uraeus atop the sun. My mother became pregnant with me, who am in the undersky, and I was given birth by my father Atum. Before the sky came into being, before the earth came into being, before people came into being, before the gods came into being, before death came into being. I do not die. I live forever. I have become the most permanent of wild bulls against them, and I shall exist at their fore, alive and enduring forever. At some point, the question changes. This isn't just about what people believed, but what they experienced. Because across cultures, people describe encountering something within themselves that feels older than the world. Carl Jung called this the self, the deeper totality beneath the ego, a self that doesn't develop over time but exists prior to it. So when the Egyptian speaker says, "I was born before the world," this may not be mythology in the simple sense. It may be the language of someone identifying with that deeper reality. And this raises a question I've been exploring through dreams, intuition, and experience. Is the self something we build in this world, or something that enters it? If something in us existed before the world, then what we call identity may not begin at birth. It may be something we're remembering.